Hello YouTube, it's Stephanie and I'm here with a haul from Hochanda, which is a UK craft channel that you can watch on the internet or on the Roku. They're 24 hours a day and they have some great deals if you are what they call a Freedom member. The Freedom membership is about $20 per month, but all your orders are shipped free. So if you're a person who likes to buy lots of dies and stamps and crafty items, then it is well worth it. So I'm going to share with you, these are Heartfelt Creations and Tonic Studios. So let's do this. This Heartfelt Creations deal was a fabulous deal because if you buy Heartfelt Creations stamps and dies, you know how expensive their items are, but they are of excellent quality. Okay, so I'm going to tell you how much this deal was at the end. So first we have the small sweet peony, and you have the stamp. Love it. That's what the stamps look like. And then you have the matching dies. So if you'll notice, these four will cut out these four. These will cut these. These two will cut these two, and this will cut this. So they work absolutely perfectly together. And so you got the small sweet peony. Then we have the large sweet peony. And I love that flower. So you have these two sizes here, and here are the leaves. And then you have the large sweet peony die, the dies that go with them to cut them out. Okay, so you got that set as well. And then you have the peony bud and blossom. Okay, there are the stamps. And then you have the matching dies. So you have 3 stamp and die sets. And then we also received the Sweet Peony Collection paper pad. It's a 12 by 12 paper pad. They're double-sided. And you get 2 sheets of each design. So these are the designs that you get right here. And I'm going to do a quick flip through. Now I've tried, this is my second time doing this video. My battery died on me. So, love the borders. And these are card fronts ready to go. You just embellish them. Love this page back here because you could actually cut these out and use them separately if you'd like to. And actually what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do it this way. Okay, so here's the front, the next front sheet here. Very pretty, and I love that you can cut these apart and use them as your sentiments. These that are on the side over here. And here's the back side of that page. Love it. Beautiful. And then we have, here's the back side. This paper pad is coming apart, and here's the front of this side. So these again are ready to cut apart and use, and I love that you could cut these sentiments apart and use them. And you also have some down this side, especially for you is what it says. Okay, then we have, here's the back side of this sheet here. Then we have, this is the back side, and here's the front side. Love the tags. Love these tags going down the side. Happy Mother's Day. Okay. Then we have this side here, and here's the back side there. And again, you can always cut these sheets apart and use them in a different way. So you could cut this set of peonies out and use them separately, but I love the window. And you have another set of flowers up here. And here's the back side of that sheet. Love that sheet right here. Beautiful. Can you see them watercolor peonies in the background? And then here's the front side of that sheet. more watercolor. And then these are ready to cut and use. Embellish them and use them on your card fronts or your scrapbook pages or whatever you would like. They have a lot of watercolor pages. And these are for probably 6x6 cards. Another. These pages here would be great for being mattes when you're matting and layering. Some more card fronts. Then we have another watercolor sheet. Now here's one of my favorite kinds of sheets. And it has, these are smaller that you can cut apart and use. And look at the little postage stamp ones. And then you have different shape tags. So these are your circular or oval tags. Then you have ticket tags here. Then you have more and another tag, more tags here. And that one says especially for you, and these are more cut aparts. So those are our 12x12 sheets. And this Sweet Peony collection for this paper pad and 3 stamp and die sets was only, I believe, $78. So that was a phenomenal deal. Next, I have Tonic Studios. So I'm going to do these in the sets the way that they sold them, and I also have cut some of them out. So this first set that I'm going to do, actually I'm going to do this set first. So these were the edge die sets, and they came in a set of 3. So I'm going to show you them, and then I'll also show you the cutouts that I did. So this first one is called the Victorian Bloom Edge die set. And it has 3 dies, so you have this is how I store them in these Fun Stepper Journey pockets. So, and these dies are very large. Where is my tape measure? Then that way I can give you an idea of how large they are. So these will be in inches. So the center one is about 7 inches, and then the outer ones are about 8 1/8 inches. So those are fairly large dies. So you get the large centerpiece, which actually cuts into the paper. Then this will cut the outer side, and if you want to cut both sides, you cut this side, and then you will take this, flip it around because they're symmetrical, and cut this side. And so that's how you would cut both sides out. And then this one is actually another way to cut it out, but it's more jagged as opposed to exact. And you would do the same with this side. You would cut this side and then flip it around to cut it completely out of the paper. Okay, so here's what it looks like if you just leave it in the paper. And I need a sheet of, well, we'll use the back of this. So here's what it looks like if you just cut it into the paper. And what I'm trying to get you to see is how it embosses beautifully. Hopefully you can see the embossing. But that's if you just leave it in the paper. Now if you cut it all the way out with the die that cuts it close, here's what it looks like. Beautiful, but it's very large. So that's the first one. And these are great on the edge. You can cut them out. You can use them as an embellishment, whatever you would like to do. And this is how I store them. And I like to store the cutout here so I can easily see what it looks like cut out. This one is the Edwardian Flower Edge die set, and it has 3 dies as well. So we have the same idea. Here's the center. This edge cuts close, and this edge cuts not as exact. Okay, so let's see what size we have. This one is, the centerpiece is about 7 7 1/4, and the outer edges are about 8 1/16. So there are your measurements, and this is what this die looks like cut out. And again, notice the embossing. If you did this on some metallic paper or some what is the paper called, the shiny paper, I can't even think right now, but it will look beautiful. Hopefully you can see some of the embossing. Okay, so there's that one. And then last but not least, in the edge set, we have the swirled lace edge set, and I think this one's my favorite, and it only has 2 dies. Okay, so here's what this one looks like, and it only cuts, it has 1 edge to cut. Okay, and because it's not symmetrical, you can't just flip it over and cut both sides out. You could fussy cut the other side if you like. Okay, and then here's what it looks like. Oh, I forgot to measure this one, so let's measure it. So the inner piece is 7 1/2 inches, and the outer is 8 1/16. So that's what that measures, and here's what it looks like. I cut the 1 edge that cuts, and hopefully, again, I want you guys, I'm trying to get you to see the embossing. Yeah, I think you can see it some. And that would be a cute card, but I did that so that you could see it. Okay, so those are the edge dies, and those 3 came as a set. And again, all of these were like phenomenal deals. I really can't say what the price was because I don't remember. But I want to say it was somewhere in the $20 to $25 range for all 3, which is a great deal because tonic dies usually are expensive because you get a lot of metal and they're big, they're large sizes. So next they had some doily dies. And I was on the fence about purchasing these, but they were so pretty, I couldn't help it. And they were such a great deal. So we have the crocheted doily, and it has 4 dies. That is absolutely beautiful. So here's what they look like. You have this outer piece. You have this inner piece, which cuts into the paper. Then you have this circle piece, which cuts out. And then you have another inner piece. So here's what it looks like. I have to get a, oh, I know what we'll use. We'll use this. So here's, if you just cut the outer piece out, this is what it looks like. And this is what the outer piece by itself looks like when you cut it out. And when you use, so that's if we use just this one, okay? That's this. Now if we use this one and this one, here's what it looks like, and it's so pretty. And if you'll notice, you can layer them right up. Then if you want to cut just the circle die, here's what it looks like. If I can get it out of my envelope. And it does have scallops around the edge, and that fits right here. And then if you cut the scallop and the inner piece, here's what it looks like. So you can actually cut them all out together, or you can layer them up, and here's an idea of what it would look like layered up. Very, very pretty. Could not resist. So that's our first lace die, and I think it was the crocheted lace. Absolutely beautiful. Love these dies. I'm glad I didn't not get them because I was again on the fence, but happy with my purchase, happy that I got them. Alright, we'll fix that in a minute. Next we have the, where did they go? Next we have the Dainty Doily. That's another beautiful one. And here's what it looks like if you just cut it out, and this is what's left in the paper. Okay. So here are the dies. Beautiful. So if you just cut this piece out, it looks like, where's my, I don't have that one. So I guess I'll have to show you when you cut that and this out. Here's what you get. You get this, which is absolutely beautiful. Then if you cut this inner piece out, and I love the shape, you get this right here, and I'll flip it over so it's easier to see. And that will fit right in the center. Then if you cut this piece and this inner piece, these two together, you get this one. And I think that's beautiful. Then if you layer them all up together, you can have something that looks very similar to this. So those are absolutely beautiful. And they don't look like normal doilies to me, and that's what drew me to them, because I like the fact that they were different. So that's that set of doilies, and we have one more. They really had some great deals at the end of the year, and that's when I decided that I was going to pick up some of these deals and not let them pass me by. So our last set of doily dies is my favorite, and it's called the Devoted Doily, and it has 5 dies in it. Beautiful. So here are the dies. Absolutely beautiful. Oh, and I haven't been given measurements. I'm so sorry. So the outer die from edge to edge is going to be 4 7/8 for the outer die. Okay, so here we go. If we just cut this die into the paper, here's what it looks like, and it does emboss if you can see it. So that's what it would look like just cut into the paper, and I think that's very, very pretty, just like that. But here's the result from that cutting into the paper. Love it. Love the edges. Okay, then we have this die right here, and what I'm trying to get you to see is they actually have a design right in each of the edges. So if we cut this into the paper, this is what's left in the paper. See the design in the edges? Okay, and here's what we get cut out of that. See the edges? I love it. And if you'll look closely, you can probably, hopefully, let's see. No, you can't see it on the back, but it's actually embossed. But that's what it looks like, and it layers perfectly right there. Okay. Then we have this die that cuts just into the paper. So if we use these two together, you get this right here, and that layers perfectly here. Then we have this circular one, and again it has a design in the die. If you cut that one into the paper, it leaves this design in the paper, and hopefully you can see around here it embossed. And then here's what that layer looks like cut out. See the design around the edges and the embossing. So you can layer that one here. And then if we cut out the last inner piece with this circular piece, this is what you get. And that will layer here perfectly. And I didn't glue these because I wanted to show you all of them individually and what they look like, because you can use them individually or all together. They're stunning no matter how you do it. I love Tonic Studio dies. So let me show you. If you were to layer them, this is what it could look like. And of course I don't have them perfectly because I didn't glue them, but just to give you an idea. Okay, so that's our last doily die. So that set, again, I think was between $20 to $25 for all three. And that's a great price for Tonic Studio dies, because most of the time you're going to pay that for one die set. Alright, so these next dies, I will do separate videos showing these dies because of their intricacy. So these are, this is one of their new On Your Day Twister Card Creator die sets. And this has 12 dies in it, and this is what the dies will look like. And again, like I said, I'll do a separate video. But here are all of the dies that you get in this set. That's a ton of dies. These are decorative ones. And this says On Your Day, and then you have an embossing piece, and you can cut out different tags. I mean, it's just a lot of dies. So that's what I'm going to do, a separate video. And it says that the example card is a 5x7. So these measure 5x7. Okay? So we have that On Your Day Twister card. Then we have the Scalloped Circle Stepper Card Creator die set. And I could not resist this because I love that scallop. And it's standing up and it's a side stepper. And this set has 16 dies in it. And it's a pretty good sized die set. Okay? So let's, oh, it should tell us on the front. Tonic will tell you the sizes. Yeah, it says the example card is 7.5 by 4 inches. So let's see. Top to bottom, the die itself is 8 inches. So you will need a larger die cutting machine. It will not fit in the Big Shot. And the width is 7.5 for the die. So it's a pretty large die, and you're going to need a larger machine. If you have a Gemini, it will work. Not in the Junior, but in the full-size Gemini, or if you have a Big Shot Plus, or any of the larger machines, okay? And then these two were, I just had to have these. This is the Parfumerie Perfect Romance Gift Box die set, and that's what they look like. And it has 17 dies. And it says the size finish is 3.5 by 2.7 by 2.7. So there you have it. And all of these, I love these decorative pieces to decorate the insides. And that's a cute little scallop flower. See, these are the tags that you can use to hang off of it. So had to have that. Thought they were absolutely adorable. And then last but not least, we have the Parfumerie Perfect Panache Gift Box die set. And this one has 24 dies in it. And it says the approximate finished box size is 4.5 by 2.5 by 2.5. So we're 4.5 high, 2.5 wide. Okay? Beautiful. Beautiful. Love this. And that's a different tag, and you can interchange your tags, and that says get well. Can't even read that one, but I'll do a separate video. You have flower dies up here. Let's see what size, and I didn't read the size on the other one, but let's see, tip to tip is, wow, 11 1.25 inches tip to tip. That's pretty long. So you definitely have to have a larger machine for this one. And then across we have 6 and 3/8. I'm sorry, 6 and 7/8. Just over 6 and 3/4. I can't even see today. Yeah, 6 and 7/8. So you definitely have to have a larger machine for this one as well. I didn't measure this one, so we'll measure it, and this will be the end of this haul from Hochanda. I would like to thank everyone for watching. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. This larger one is 10 and 3/8. So you have to have a larger machine. Get you a Gemini, they're fabulous. By 7 and 3/8. Okay, so these are my tonic dies, and look for videos showing these dies here. Thank you for watching, and check out all of my videos. Have a great one.